Adrian N. Bridefelder, City Clerk. You are hereby directed to call a special session of the City Council to be held on Monday, March 16th, 2026, at 6 p.m. in the historic Federal Building for the purpose of conducting a work session on Dubuque Main Street.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to a special session of the Dubuque City Council for March 16th, 2026. As a reminder to viewers and listeners, due to the nature of tonight's meeting topic, public input is not accepted. However, you may contact the City Council directly from the city's webpage at www.cityofdubuque.org/council-contacts. Attendance for the session is as follows. Mayor Pro Tem Resnick.
Here.
Mayor Kavanaugh.
Here.
Thank you. Council members Leyendecker.
Here.
Roussel.
Here.
Sprank.
Here.
Staver.
Here.
Wethel.
Here.
City Manager Van Milligan.
Here.
And City Attorney Brumwell.
Here.
Thank you. Our work session topic is Dubuque Main Street. I will turn it over to their Executive Director, David Barba.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Mayor, and all city staff. My name is David Barba. The privilege of serving as the Executive Director of Dubuque Main Street. Dubuque Main Street is a 501c3 nonprofit that is dedicated to the economic and cultural development of downtown Dubuque. We are made up of a small but mighty core of staff of two full-time positions, a handful of seasonal workers, and a volunteer board of directors who serve in an advisory role. Our organization is supported by a $96,211 purchase of services agreement paid to Dubuque Main Street in quarterly installments to lead organizing the Dubuque Farmers Market and activation of the Town Clock Plaza. I want you to just keep that number in mind as I lead you through the impact that our programming and services has on our community. Most people likely know Dubuque Main Street from our events. It's how we activate our downtown district. It's how we facilitate economic development as well as cultural development and improve the experience that comes along with building a life, a family, and a career in our community. Tonight I want to bring you through some of the work that we've been able to do to accomplish with each of these programs, where they're headed, and how we can continue to improve them. And we'll start with the farmers market. The Dubuque Farmers Market is our flagship program. It's our biggest thing that we do. We see an average of 2,000 to 4,000 people there every week, 26 weeks a year, from May through October. And in this year, we actually have 27 weeks. Every Saturday from May through October. While you may not see this at the surface, the Dubuque Farmers Market actually welcomes a national audience to our downtown every year. 2025, we recorded 375 unique zip codes through our token transaction system, and that is people from Hawaii to Alaska to Connecticut, all coming to Dubuque and to our farmers market. The farmers market, it's not just for fun, it's for serious business as well. We processed over $117,000 in token transactions in 2025, which is the best number that we have recorded, wherein our average is around 103,000. In 2025, we welcomed 120 vendors to our downtown, and we brought in 42 new tables, benches, high tops to increase the amenities and seating throughout the market. As operators, we take the continued development of this program very seriously. Most notably, in 2025, we added those new tables, benches, high tops to improve the customer experience and hospitality of our event. This was thanks to a $30,000 DRA core grant. And with that, we bought the new seating, but also the storage and transportation equipment to be able to deploy those efficiently every weekend. And the public loved it. So now you can not only bring your family to downtown to get some great breakfast, but you can now also take a seat and stay a while. But our market could never reach these heights without the continued recruitment of our vendors. We had 120 hosted in 2025, as I had mentioned, and we're currently sitting at 93 applicants so far for 2026. In 2025, we had the highest recorded token transactions at $117,000, but average about 103,000 since 2021. These are dollars that we process at our token booth that go directly to farmers market vendors, farmers, small business owners, and the people who bring our market to life. But that's still not enough. In 2025, we took small but meaningful steps forward, ensuring that each week of the farmers market has something special to keep folks coming back for a second, a third, or a 10th time in a season. The mascot dance-off, as you see here, was a fun, silly street performance in September of 2025 during a time where our vendors often cite a dip in sales. This was an effort that we brought college students to downtown. We brought Dubuque Fighting Saints players to our farmers market and created a spur-of-the-moment special experience that, as you can see in these photos, people filmed, shared, and recorded to add on their social media page and to continue to bring attention to our farmers market in a slower season. Looking ahead, we are incredibly excited for the 2026 season. It's coming right up in May 2nd. We have identified and secured new revenue streams to allow us to build on the successes that we saw last year. This includes a sponsorship from Farm Bureau Financial Services, as well as an expansion of our merchandise sales through a growing partnership with 1-800-T-Shirts. We will continue to make the Dubuque Farmers Market the centerpiece of our annual DRA grant application to continue to build our array of amenities for our guests. And we plan to increase the marketing reach through in-house content creation to meet the rising needs of vendors as requested through our annual vendor feedback survey at the end of the year. Moving on to Dubuque and all that jazz. Perhaps the most monumental improvement in our programming in 2025 was the revival of a downtown tradition with 30 years of history in Dubuque and all that jazz. We reduced the number of events from 3 to 1 for each summer. So previously it was June, July, and August, and this year we just focused on June to make one big show. We turned a $5,000 loss through 3 events in 2024 to a $15,000 gain in 2025. And we did this by reestablishing our focus on local music as the primary driver for attendance. We started the night with a massive performance from the Roosevelt Middle School Jazz Band, led by band director Stacy Amison, seen here. It was 54 students that made the perfect opening act. At 5 o'clock at the beginning of our event, we immediately had a packed crowd full of families, friends, and curious passerbys. We also got back to our roots and welcomed back to the business, which was a favorite from Jazz's past that played songs that everyone knows. And as far as I've seen, nothing quite gets people dancing in the Town Clock Plaza like an Earth, Wind, and Fire cover. And a new addition, we were headlined by a quickly rising local jazz band in the DZ Combo. However, in order to make this set a wholly unique experience, we tasked the combo with inviting 3 supporting acts from our community: guest vocalist Leslie Shalaby, guest drummer Darren Nelson, and local rapper Stefan Woolley Baldwin. And it became something that you cannot find anywhere else in Dubuque. And it provided an opportunity to build something with the potential for a regional draw in an event that has historically just been a local celebration. In 2026, we plan to do exactly that. We are welcoming back the DZ Combo as our headliner with an ever-growing cast of supporting acts, creating a single show in the heart of our downtown where someone from inside or outside our community can get a glimpse into the vast array of talent that we have, that our community has to offer. Moving on, we have Putzin Around Downtown. Another downtown staple with decades of history in downtown. It's a mini golf business bar crawl, complete with costumes and an always changing theme. This event is a key fundraiser for our organization, and in 2025, we saw it reach modest new heights. We had 45 teams registered, which is around on average. I think we typically cap out around 50. But we raised almost $13,000 in funds for our organization, which is, by a small margin, the best fundraiser that we've had through that event in our history. And most notably, we had an 84.2% player retention rate. So those are people who have come to Putzin before and are coming back for a second time, which I'll get to in a moment here, is much improved based on our averages. While we saw some successes with Putzin in 2025, we know that there's still significant room to grow. And as a tradition since 2002, we know it's something worth investing in. Almost 1,300 players have played in Putzin since 2002, but where it gets interesting is 60% of all recorded players join for 1 year and they never return. So for every 10 new players we recruit to go to Putzin, only 4 ever come back another year. We see this as a key problem that we want to solve to continue to grow this event. And with such fragile retention, how has this event stood the test of time? It's because of the legacies of the Putzin legends, we call them. 84 players on record have attended for 5+ years. 11 players have attended for 10+ years. This event is supported by a loyal cast of whole sponsors and teams that come in year after year. And so our goals are informed by that loyalty to embrace this like long tradition of Putson as a key fundraiser. We want to improve player retention by improving player experience. We want to reduce navigational friction, making it easier to travel from business to business. And we need to raise the bar for production value because events like Putson or even Jazz in the farmers market are competing not only with other downtown events, they're competing with staying home, watching Netflix, doom scrolling on your phone, and playing video games, and that's a high bar. We really treat that as a serious competitor to coming downtown. So the production value, the experience, the player experience is the utmost priority to keep this thing going. So we've designed some creative solutions to overcome these more complex obstacles. New in 2026, the Golden Putter Traveling Trophy. It is for best hole design, rather. It incentivizes great hole builds for participating sponsors and embraces the legacy of each event and honoring its most staunch supporters in getting engraved year after year and moving to each venue for the year that they win. That is being fabricated by local metal artist Jimmy Cole, who's done some work in art on the river. And we've developed the Putson Pocket Caddy. It's a web application for mobile devices. Give up the pen and paper and use your phone to track your scores, navigate to each hole, and upload your team photo to participate in the costume contest, where we've built a user interface where players will either swipe right or swipe left on the hole design or costume design that they think is worthy of the winning title, of the $250 prize. We've reduced the event boundaries, doing away with long walks between venues. And most of all, we've got a growing committee of volunteers to help support this event, namely UMB Bank, Lane Madsen State Farm, Lovell & Co., and Keller Williams Legacy Group. Moving on, we have Architecture Days. This is another longstanding event with a strong core of support, which is a common theme with Dubuque Main Street. We bring guests through a week of tours, through our architectural history throughout downtown. We saw about 40 to 50 people at each of our tours, and in 2025, we were able to maintain this performance while we plan for future development and future growth and opportunities through this event. Food Festival Fridays. It's food trucks for lunch on a Friday at Washington Park. It's a fairly straightforward event, but we were able to take a few steps forward in improving it in 2025. We deployed the seating amenities that we got through the DRA core grant that we used at the farmers market into Washington Park, and we leaned on in-house marketing through social media, which reduces the operational overhead without sacrificing attendance. We were able to reduce our marketing costs and continue to meet the increasing needs for attendance and adoption downtown. And getting to our services. So you learned about our programming. That's how we activate downtown. That's how we fundraise for our organization. And that comes down, and that goes to our services, how we support downtown. Two key pillars right now: grant administration and digital media support. I'll walk you through grant administration. This is how it works. Main Street receives funding through a combination of government agencies and in-house fundraising efforts. Main Street markets and advocates for downtown stakeholders who applied for these grants. We educate them on what they need to do to deliver on these grants and apply and meet our expectations. Main Street Grants Committee reviews applications and scores accordingly. And then we fund projects that support private investment and open the door for the next great downtown idea. We transform uninhabitable spaces into ones that are ready for economic activity. And in 2026, we have built a custom grants portal into our website, and with a committee review function to directly into our website, adding a professional polish and reducing administrative overhead. So going away with the Google Forms, and it's built into our website now. And the impact of those grants. I'll focus in on two of our grant programs to be specific, because I think these really lean into the narrative that is the impact of our grant programs. The SWAP grant. In 2023, we got $130,000 from Dubuque County, which helped fund an estimated $4.6 million in private investment. It was 13 projects funded with $10,000 grants. This is anything from upper story housing developments on Central Avenue, interior build-out costs for River City Hair Co. on Central Avenue, or a new kitchen for Las Margaritas on Main Street. And also, as an accredited Main Street organization, we're eligible for state funding through Main Street, Iowa, and the Iowa Economic Development Authority, specifically, or most notably, through the Challenge Grant. That's kind of the big one every year. Since this program began in 2002, we have received nearly $1 million in state funding that would not have otherwise been possible without our Main Street organization. And impressive to me, we see nearly a 75% acceptance rate on our Challenge Grant applications. So every time we apply for one project per year, 70% chance that we're getting that funding. And new to our organization in 2025 was a digital media support pilot program. Because while our organization has great value in our event programming and grant administration, we lacked a service that could be applied to anyone within our district, yet still offer this tangible support for their downtown endeavor. So here's how it works. A downtown business, event, or nonprofit books a photographer at dubuquemainstreet.org/booking. DMS photographer captures professional quality content at little or no cost to the clients. And clients receive their photos with full rights, full use to use in their own social media, website, marketing needs. And Dubuque Main Street posts that content on our social media pages to raise awareness of the amazing things happening downtown. This drives customers to new businesses. This provides new and existing events, marketing collateral to build excitement for next year and recruit additional sponsorship while ensuring that they continue to run a tight budget as well. And it provides immense support to our social media pages by increasing our reach, building our audience for our continued development and emphasis of in-house marketing capacity. And we feel we've proven the model. Last year, 2025, we supported 40 businesses and organizations with this program. We captured photos at 27 events. And we really have felt through piloting this program, that this service is vital because we don't feel that downtown is fully capitalized on the potential of the internet and social media as a communication platform to raise awareness of the great things happening downtown. And Main Street is able to produce content for those who need it most at a high level with minimal production costs. Many businesses have enough of an obstacle building their customer experience, and a proficiency in social media marketing and content creation is not always made to be a priority. But in 2025 and beyond, it is our opinion that it is an essential tool to drive traffic for any downtown business. And even better, it's had a profound impact on our organization as well. Because by prioritizing in-house marketing, we have increased our reach considerably, reduced our expenses associated with marketing, and offered a new service to our community at no additional cost to the taxpayer. Our strongest platform in Facebook reached over 250,000 unique users in 2025, which is a 37% increase over 2024. And that's in line with some of our contemporaries, such as Travel Dubuque, who are among the best in town. Which brings us back to this, $96,211. For this investment, you get an economic impact that provides a clear return, farmers market token sales supporting our vendors, $103,000 average every year, grant administration transforming our downtowns, transforming our storefronts and inspiring private investment, digital media support driving foot traffic to downtown businesses. But you also get this intangible cultural return as well. The feeling a Roosevelt middle schooler gets when performing at All That Jazz, the feeling a new farmers market vendor gets when they take a chance on their idea and sales start rolling in, or the feeling a new member of a corporate Putson team gets when they start connecting with the people and places in their community. And getting into our budget. This is where you get to see the stewardship of your tax dollars at work. And we have a lot to be proud of this year. In these two columns, you'll see a comparison between fiscal year 25 and fiscal year 26 actuals. But it's important to keep in mind that we are just on the cusp of our primary revenue generators for our fiscal year. That's farmers market signups, that's Putson, that's Jazz. So you see at the bottom, our budgeted income is $467,853. Moving on to our expenses, the real test of our organization has been the work we have done in reducing our operational overhead, marketing spending, and event expenses. In 1 year, we have transformed the financial stability of our organization, going from a $22,000 net loss in fiscal year 25 to a projected $56,000 net gain projected in fiscal year 26. That's $56,000 that we get to reinvest in improving our programming and funding our public services, scaling our impact. And some notes on analysis. Our programming costs have been down dramatically, but results are up. Special events expenses reduced from $73,000 to about $44,000. This is choices like moving jazz events from 3 events to 1. It's reducing marketing budgets per event and embracing our in-house capacity to do that work ourselves. Development and promotional spending is down, with focusing on in-house marketing efforts and just reducing a little bit of administrative waste. Big impact. Our staffing is leaner, but our organization is stronger. So we went from 3 full-time staff to 2 without sacrificing the deliverables of our organization. And this is a testament to our staff, which is myself and my operations manager, Laura Burchins. To do this kind of work for our community is not driven by a big paycheck. It's very much a labor of love. We have a high bar of expectations for ourselves, and we feel that that's the responsibility that we take on as a partially taxpayer-funded organization. And finally, that's more money going to our mission, less to our overhead. In order to deliver these services and programs to our community, we're doing so with significant reduction to our operations, reducing 30% in overhead cost while improving the quality of our events and the impact they have on our organization and our community. And so we feel this approach proves the responsible stewardship of any level of city investment, which is why this year, you guys have some difficult decisions ahead of you when considering our budget, and we are competent and we're comfortable with maintaining our current level of support at $96,211. If you were to feel our organization is worthy of an increased level of support, we would request that funding is directed towards our grant programs, swap grant programs, rather than purely operational support. I'm happy to take any questions.
Well, Mr. Barber, thank you very much. Before I take any quick questions, I was hoping that you could introduce your support staff.
Yes, absolutely.
In the back, please.
Laura Burchins, my operations manager. We have my board president, Creed Welchley from Cottingham and Butler, vice president, Terry Mosina from Mosina Realty, economic development director, Jill Connors on our executive committee, and Police Chief Jensen, who isn't associated with our organization, but
he does help out in a way, doesn't he? Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
There's a lot there, but I would we do have maybe a couple minutes for any kind of questions or comments. Ms. Roussel.
Thank you. Well, first of all, David, don't forget me. I'm on the board too.
Yes, please.
And I am very proud to be a part of the board. I am really pleased with the level of efficiency and the way you have used the technology to make us more efficient while reducing our expenses. I especially like the Putson app, things like that, where technology can make, everybody lives with their phone, and I think people are really gonna like that. I just appreciate all the new ways that you have come up with to help us support our downtown businesses, and I look forward to continuing to be part of this great organization. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to comment or have a question? It was, before I stop, I'm going to ask Mr. Staver if you would like a
Well, I was just going to say, I love it. I love everything you guys are doing. I love the sense of pride it seems like you have in reducing the costs and showing a positive bottom line. I can see the pride beaming off of you. I think that's important to know that, you're doing great things and you're competent. That kind of speaks to it. And to me, all these events are really the culture of Dubuque, and for a long time. And I think it's great, man. I'm proud to be, I'm part of it. I'm proud to be part of it as well. And I'm excited. And thank you very much, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Wethel?
I just wanted to make a comment on the changes that you and the organization and everyone involved made this summer to the benches and the kind of placemaking at our farmers market. I was this past summer at a large city farmers market, and it didn't hold a candle to us. You guys, it's fantastic. And for some reason, I think I never realized how important the seating space is for people to really bring families and sit and eat and, just greet each other. And community building is so important. So that in addition to all you do, but I think that was really a big step. And then, like you said, then activating those to Food Truck Fridays and creating that space for people to gather. We know that creating that experience for newer people to our community helps to bring them in and feel that they're part of something. So keep doing the great work, and congratulations on a great year.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor Kavanaugh, do you have something you'd like to say?
The only thing I would say is thank you very much for this presentation. It was great to see all these details laid out in this way, but thank you very much for being here, David and team.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for coming and supporting tonight the downtown, the Dubuque Main Street. So, there being no further business, we stand adjourned until the regular session.
Thank you.
like fast, you know? Yeah, yeah.
Adrian N. Breitfelder, City Clerk, you are hereby directed to call a regular session of the City Council to be held on Monday, March 16th, 2026, at 6:30 PM in the historic Federal Building for the purpose of conducting such business that may properly come before the City Council.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to a regular session of the Dubuque City Council for March 16th, 2026. As a reminder to our participants, you can provide in-person input or virtual audio and written input during the sections of the agenda where public input is accepted. Input options during the live meeting include in-person attendees may approach the podium when the Mayor Pro Tem asks if there is any public input on the item they would like to speak to. Remote attendees can log into GoToMeeting using the login links, phone numbers, and access code that appear on the broadcast and live stream and posted on the front page of the meeting agenda. This option includes audio input and written chat input. If you are participating via computer, indicate which item you would like to speak to in the chat function or note that you would like to speak during the appropriate section. If you are participating via phone, indicate which item you would like to speak to during the appropriate section. All comments, whether in person or virtual, must be accompanied by a name and address. Additionally, written public input is accepted by contacting the City Council directly from the city's webpage at www.cityofdubuque.org/councilcontacts and through the City Clerk's office email at ctyclerk@cityofdubuque.org. This information will be reiterated during the meeting. Attendance for the session is as follows. Mayor Pro Tem Resnick.
Here.
Mayor Kavanaugh.
Here.
Thank you. Council members Leindecker.
Here.
Roussel.
Here?
Sprank.
Here.
Staver.
Here.
Wethel.
Here.
City Manager Van Milligan.
Here.
And City Attorney Brumwell.
Here.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Resnick, I will turn it over to you for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, thank you. I invite all who are able to please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I will quickly note, we do have an update to tonight's agenda. Item number 17 is removed from the agenda. And with that, we'll move on to proclamations. Our proclamation this evening is Honeybee Day.
Honeybee Day, and we have H.R. Cook and Ava Melberg here to accept this proclamation. So you are absolutely invited to tell us a little bit about this proclamation and what you're doing here in Dubuque.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem. I have with me my granddaughter, Ava Melbourne. She is proxy this evening for our Dubuque Swiss Valley Bee Club. Due to the weather, they couldn't make it tonight. Swiss Valley Bee Club has about 75 members, and I think this is our fourth year of doing the proclamation for Honeybee Day in the state of Iowa, which is March 25th, next week. We'll be at the state capitol talking about honeybees, pollination, agriculture related to honeybees with our legislatures and anybody else who would join us. Really kind of the fun facts right now, because we're not really thinking about pollination on a day like today. The bees are currently gathered up and they swarm and around the queen inside the hive, and then they disengage their wings, the worker bees do, and they vibrate their wings or those muscles to create heat inside the hive. So right now, if you're going outside and it's 23 degrees, it's about 90 degrees inside a hive or inside the trees where the honeybees are. So honeybees they don't fly at night because that's where the bad things are. And there is only one queen in a hive. The rest of the workers take care of the queen, and there's only about 500 drones, and the rest of them are all females. The drones are the male bees. So at the end of the season, after the mating season with the queen is over, the female bees throw the male bees out because they're lazy and they're getting ready to eat all the resources for the winter. And then it's just the females and the queen for the rest of the winter. So Ava Melbourne, she lives with us. She has her own hive. You want to tell us a little bit about the hive?
So, like, there's 10,000 bees and one queen, like he said, right? Mm-hmm. And it's good, right?
Right.
And it's making good honey, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay, so yeah.
So, but thank you very much for having us this evening in this proclamation. It does mean a lot. City of Dubuque was one of the first cities to allow urban beekeeping inside the city limits, and currently there are about 50 hives inside the city, including one at the airport. We have a hive out there. We are putting a couple down at the Grand River Center to help out with the honey production down there. And then we have, we're doing a pollination program down at the River Museum also. So I see they're down here, so we're starting that. So it's expanding, and we appreciate everybody here. If anybody's interested in raising bees and having hives inside the city, you can get a hold of us on Facebook for the Dubuque Swiss Valley Bee Club. So thank you.
Great. Well, thank you and Ava for coming down. The proclamation is, whereas honeybees and native insects are important as pollinators for a third of the food we eat, honeybees are vital in production of over 90 crops grown across the nation, many of which are in Northeast Iowa. Honeybees contribute significantly to the biodiversity and food security of our community by assuring the availability of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and flowers for wildlife, providing an estimated $95 million economic value to Iowa crops from their pollination. And whereas Iowa beekeepers produce 2.6 million pounds of honey a year, while Iowans consume over 4 million pounds of honey, resulting in importing honey from other states and foreign countries. And whereas the city of Dubuque promotes programs such as No Mow May, pesticide and herbicide reduction in city parks, construction of pocket floral parks in urban areas, encouragement of ornamental flowers in right-of-ways, medians, and roundabouts, and the ever-growing Dubuque Farmer Market, giving an avenue for local beekeepers to sell local honey to consumers who enjoy the many health benefits of locally sourced honey. And whereas honeybees face serious threats from invasive pests and disease, decreasing bee-friendly habitat, human inattention, variable climate and pesticide and herbicide pressure. And whereas the city of Dubuque was one of the first larger cities in Iowa to allow urban beekeeping and encourages and promotes many types of urban pollination programs with grants, classes, and clubs, it is now estimated there are over 60 urban beehives in the city of Dubuque, some of which are on City of Dubuque property, whose bees are pollinating many types of trees, plants, flowers, and other blooming flora throughout the spring, summer, and fall. Now, therefore, I, David Resnick, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Dubuque, Iowa, on behalf of the City Council, staff, and residents of Dubuque, do hereby proclaim the 25th of March, 2026, as Honeybee Day. So, if you could come up. There, you got a picture? Oh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ms. Breitfelder.
We'll move on to consent items. At this time, anyone participating in the meeting in person who would like to discuss one of the consent items, please approach the podium when the Mayor Pro Tem asks if there is any in-person input and state your name and address. For all remote attendees, please enter your name and address in the chat function or state your name and address over the phone when the Mayor Pro Tem asks if there is any virtual input. If more than one participant would like to speak, then city staff will determine the speaking order of the participants. Please state the item you would like removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and consideration. Consent items can be found on pages 2 through 6 of the agenda, and just a reminder that consent item number 17 has been removed from the agenda.
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone in the chambers who would like to pull any of the consent items for separate discussion? Seeing no one, are there anything in the virtually? How about any written input?
No input.
All right, thank you. Would any council members like to pull any items for discussion? All right, very good. Then I'm open to a motion.
Mr.
Mr.
Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, Mayor Kavanaugh.
I move to receive and file, adopt the resolutions, and deal with the consent items as recommended.
Second.
All right, motion by
Can-
Kavanaugh.
Friendly amendment, can we say except for number 17?
Except for number 17. Thank you very much, Granna.
Would you, do you still want to second that?
Second that.
Very good. Any comments? Any questions? All right. So we do have a motion and a second to, let's see, to accept, to receive and file. And so, Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Very good. That passes 7-0.
We'll move on to items set for public hearing. We have 3. First is setting public hearing for a proposed First Amendment to Development Agreement between the City of Dubuque, Iowa and Groening Development Incorporated for March 23rd, 2026. Second is resolution of necessity for the amendment of the Dubuque Industrial Center Economic Development District Urban Renewal Plan, version 2026.1 for April 20th, 2026. And third is setting a public hearing, petition to vacate and dispose of portions of the West 7th Street and Bluff Street right-of-way and of the alley right-of-way in the block bounded by Locust Street, West 8th Street, Bluff Street, and West 7th Street in the City of Dubuque, Iowa, for vacating petition agreement between City of Dubuque and Dubuque Museum of Art for April 20th, 2026.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Russell.
I move to receive and file, adopt the resolutions, and set the public hearings for the dates specified.
Second by Wethel.
Thank you very much. So we have a motion by Roussel and a second by Wethel. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's 7-0. Thank you very much.
We'll move on to boards and commissions. We have city council vote on the mayor's appointment to the Civil Service Commission, as well as appointments to the Housing Commission, Long Range Planning Advisory Commission, and Zoning Board of Adjustment.
So thank you very much. The first one is the Civil Service Commission, and for the Civil Service Commission, we have one 4-year term through April 6, 2030, and Iowa Code requires the mayor select the applicant for appointment, which is voted on by the city council. So Mayor Kavanaugh previously selected Randall Ludovitz for appointment, so I will take a motion to approve the mayor's selection of Randall Ludovitz to the term.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Wessel.
I move to appoint Mr. Randall Ludovitz at 867 Barber Lee Drive to the Civil Service Commission.
Thank you.
Can I amend that just ever so slightly? Sure. To have it, instead of the appoint, to approve the mayor's appointment?
Oh, to approve the mayor's appointment of Mr. Ludovitz.
Second by Sprank.
All right, thank you very much. So we have a motion by Wethel, second by Sprank. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's 7-0. It is approved. Number 2, the Housing Commission. For the Housing Commission, we have one 3-year term through August 17th, 2028, and one applicant, Wyatt Pierce. I will entertain a motion on this applicant, please.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Mr. Sprank.
I motion that we approve and nominate Wyatt Pierce to the 1 3-year term. Second by Leyendecker.
Thank you very much. So we have a motion by Sprank, second by Leyendecker to approve. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Thank you. That's 7-0. Approved. Number 3, Long Range Planning Advisory Commission. We have one 3-year term through July 1st, 2028, and one applicant, Parker Scott. So I will entertain a motion on this applicant.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Roussel.
I move to nominate Parker Scott for the Long Range Planning Advisory Commission, term through July 1st, 2028.
Thank you.
Second by Wethel.
All right. We have a motion by Roussel and a second by Wethel. Ms. Breitfelder, please.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leindecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's 7-0 and approved. All right, and finally, we have the Zoning Board of Adjustment. We have one 5-year term through March 25th, 2031, and one applicant, Ben Nuffleholz.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Wethel.
I move to reappoint Ben Leffelholtz to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for one 5-year term through March 25th, 2031.
Second by Sprank.
Okay, so we have a motion by Wethel, second by Sprank. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leindecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's 7-0. Approved.
We'll move on to public hearings. At this time, anyone participating in the meeting in person who would like to discuss one of the public hearing items, please approach the podium when the Mayor Pro Tem asks if there's any in-person input for the public hearing you would like to speak to, and state your name and address. For all remote attendees, please enter your name and address in the chat function and state your question, or state your name and address over the phone when the Mayor Pro Tem asks if there is any virtual input for the public hearing you would like to speak to. If more than one participant would like to speak, then city staff will determine the speaking order of the participants. Public hearing number 1 is disposal of city-owned property north of Cedar Crest Court in Dubuque, Iowa.
All right, very good. And I'll take a motion to start this.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Mayor Kavanaugh.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second by Wethel.
All right. We are in a public hearing to consider approving the disposal of city-owned property lying north of Cedar Crest Court. Is there anyone in the chambers to address us on this item? Seeing no one, is there anyone virtually or any written input?
Nope.
All right, very good. Then I'll come back to council discussion if we have any.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Mayor Kavanaugh.
I might suggest we have Mike read his memo before we discuss.
All right, thank you for that suggestion. Mr. Van Milligan.
Oh, thank you. Well, happens to be a very brief one. City Engineer Gus Zahoyas is recommending City Council approval of a resolution for the disposal of city-owned property lying north of Cedar Cross Court in Dubuque be conveyed to Jeremy L. and Andrea A. Biederman via the quitclaim deed. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request Mayor and City Council approval.
So thank you. Now we know what this is about. I should have asked you earlier. Do we have any comment about this or questions? All right, no comments or questions. So we have a motion by Kavanaugh and a second by Wethel. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leindecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's approved, 7-0.
Public hearing number 2 is 2026 Public Works Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Ramp Project, Bid Package 3, public hearing.
Very good.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Mr. Sell.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second by Wethel.
All right, thank you very much. Have a motion and a second. And Mr. Van Milligan.
Thank you. Assistant City Engineer Bob Schissel is recommending City Council approve the plans, specifications, formal contract, and estimated cost of $298,000 for the 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Ramp Project Bid Package 3 through adoption of the attached resolution. The 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program will provide for the replacement of 45 access curb ramps, adjacent street pavement work, curb and gutter replacement, sidewalks, one storm sewer intake, and landscape restoration work. This project is in coordination with the Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program at the following locations: 28th Street from Jackson Street to Washington Street for 6 ramps, 29th Street from Jackson Street to Washington Street for 8 ramps, 30th Street and Jackson Street, 3 ramps, Diagonal Street and Trout Terrace for 2 ramps, Broadway Street from 24th Street to 28th Street for 12 ramps, Fulton Street and Monroe Street for 3 ramps, Argyle Street from Ghost Street to Groveland Place for 5 ramps, and Windsor Avenue from Ghost Street to Euclid Street for 6 ramps. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request mayor and city council approval.
Thank you. We are in a public hearing to consider city council approval of plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost of $298,000 for the 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Project Ramp Bid Package 3 through adoption of the attached resolution. Do we have anyone in the chambers to address us on this item? Anyone virtually?
No.
All right, is there any written?
Nope.
All right, very good. Do we have any questions from council members? All right, we will, since we don't have any, well, let's move on. We have a motion by Roussel, second by Wethel. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver.
Aye.
Wethel.
Aye.
Sprank.
Aye.
Liondecker.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Roussel.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's 7-0, approval.
Public hearing number 3 is public hearing and approval of Third Amendment to the lease agreement by and between the City of Dubuque, Iowa and the Dubuque County Historical Society.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Wethel.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second by Liondecker.
Thank you very much. So we are in a public hearing to consider City Council adopt the attached resolution approving a Third Amendment to the lease agreement between the City of Dubuque, Iowa and the Dubuque County Historical Society. And the city manager recommends approval. So is there anyone in the chambers to address us on this item? All right, anyone virtually? And of course, Mr. Kavanaugh, Mayor Kavanaugh, I'm going to ask Michael Van Milligan to give us a note on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Director Matt Kalsevich is recommending City Council adopt the attached resolution approving a Third Amendment to the lease agreement between the City of Dubuque and the Dubuque County Historical Society. The city provided a letter of authorization on behalf of the City of Dubuque in support of the Dubuque County Historical Society's application to the Iowa Economic Development Authority and the Iowa Finance Authority State Historic Preservation Tax Credit Program for preservation and restoration work on the Matthias Ham House. Recently, the state provided additional information in relation to the Iowa Economic Development and Finance Authority State Historic Preservation Tax Credit Program, advising that the lease needs to be 39 years. The current lease agreement was a term ending on May 31st, 2054. This does not meet the 39-year requirement. The Third Amendment would extend the term to May 31st, 2066. This will meet the requirements of the state and provide an additional 2 years in case the process of approval in the second step of the application for tax credits takes more than a year. The Parks and Recreation Commission reviewed the Third Amendment and unanimously approved the recommendation at their February 10th, 2026 meeting. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request mayor and city council approval.
Thank you very much. Do we have any council discussion? Very good. We have a motion by Wethel, second by Liondecker. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver.
Aye.
Wethel.
Aye.
Sprank.
Aye.
Liondecker.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Roussel.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That's 7-0, approval.
We'll move on to public input. At this time, anyone participating in the meeting may address the city council on the action items on the agenda or on matters under the control of the city council. For all in-person attendees, please approach the podium and state your name and address when the mayor pro tem asks if there is any in-person input. For all remote attendees, please enter your name and address in the chat function or state your name and address over the phone when the mayor pro tem asks if there is any virtual input. If more than one participant would like to speak, then city staff will determine the speaking order of the participants. Individual remarks are limited to 5 minutes and the overall public input period is limited to 30 minutes. Under the Iowa Open Meetings Law, the City Council can take no formal action on comments given during public input or that do not relate to the action items on the agenda.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone in the chambers who has public input for us today? Thank you very much. And if you could just give your name and address? Thank you.
Mayor Kavanaugh, Mayor Pro Temp, my name's Nick Fish, and City Council, my name's Nick Fish. I'm on 2040 Bunker Hill Road. I'm representing NICC here tonight as a trustee. I just was excited to see that sale of the right-of-way from the city to NICC to support the $1.4 million renovation of the Dubuque Center. I think it's really going to be a good investment for the community at large. Dubuque Community School students can take the concurrent enrollment classes there, where they can earn both high school and college credits. They can take anatomy and physiology. I know it's something that employers really requested that NICC expand on, and I'm happy to see this going forward. This renovation also helps further NICC's mission and vision to empower learners and strengthens the Dubuque area by continuing to provide accessible, high-quality, innovative education and training, and also forward-thinking and shaping and delivering education workforce solutions of which that the employers are asking for themselves. I think it's going to be a great thing along with the continuing revitalization of Main Street. So thank you for your support of NICC, and I'm very excited to see that project go forward. So thank you.
Well, thank you for coming tonight, and we appreciate the partnership with NICC very much. Is there anyone virtually or any written input
No
for
written
that?
input.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on then.
We'll move on to action items. Action item number 1 is request to rezone Rustic Point number 2, third reading.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Russell.
I move to receive and file, and further move that the final consideration and passage of the ordinance.
Second by Sprague.
All right, thank you very much. So there's no memo from Mike, so I don't have to ask for it, and Wally. So they're here in case we have some questions from the council, from the table. So is there any questions or discussion from council members? Seeing none, we have a motion by Russell, second by Sprank. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Nay.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Nay.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That passes 5-2. All right, action item number 2.
Action item number 2 is 2026 Catherine Street Storm Sewer Project Award Public Improvement Contract.
All right,
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
yes, Ms. Wethel.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second.
Second by Russell. So we have a motion by Wethel and a second by Russell. Mr. Van Milligan.
Thank you. Assistant City Engineer Bob Schissel is recommending the public improvement contract for the 2026 Catherine Street Storm Sewer Project be awarded to Top Grade Excavating for both the base bid and alternate bid number 1 in the amount of $232,657.70. The base bid of $188,144.45 is 7.3% below estimate of probable cost. If during construction is determined in the field that the existing Catherine Street pavement held up adequately as a result of the construction work and the pavement condition is acceptable, the alternate bid number 1 items could be removed from the contract scope of work. Properties along Catherine Street have experienced flooding during heavy rainfall events. This is partially a result of the underground storm sewer system on Catherine Street being undersized, minimal storm sewer intake catch basins in the street to capture and convey the stormwater, along with shallow curb and gutter along the street, which overtops with stormwater during heavy rainfall events. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request Mayor and City Council approval.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions or discussion from council members? Ms. Wethel.
I just wanted to say thank you to the engineering department for not only spelling this out for us and the reasons for potentially alternative bids, which when you dig into it, it's obvious that this took a lot of planning to say the what ifs and we need to prepare for them and make sure financially we're set for them. So thanks for the thorough memo.
Thank you. Well, then we'll move on. So we have a motion by Wethel, second by Roussel. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That carries 7-0.
Action item number 3 is 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Ramp Project, Bid Package 1, Award Public Improvement Contract.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Ms. Wethel.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second by Sprank.
Okay, second by Sprank. So we have a motion by Wethel, second by Sprank. Mr. Van Milligan.
Thank you. Assistant City Engineer Bob Schissel is recommending City Council adopt a resolution awarding the Public Improvement Construction Contract for the 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Ramp Project Bid Package 1 to Valentine Construction LLC in the amount of $273,516.85, which is 21.42% below the estimate of probable cost. The 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Bid Package 1 will provide for the replacement of 34 access curb ramps, adjacent street pavement work, curb and gutter replacement, sidewalks, 8 storm sewer intakes, and landscape restoration work in coordination with the Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program at the following locations: Marywood Drive from Rosewood Drive to Chrissy Drive for 12 ramps, Glenview Circle from Chrissy Drive to Chrissy Drive for 4 ramps, Kaufman Avenue from John F. Kennedy Road to Martin Drive for 10 ramps, Theta Drive from Gordon Drive to Martin Drive for 8 ramps. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request Mayor and City Council approval.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions or discussion, council? All right. Well, again, we have a motion by Wethel, second by Sprank. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Action item number 4 is 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Ramp Project Bid Package 2, Award Public Improvement Contract.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Wethel.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second by Leyendecker.
Thank you. We have a motion by Wethel, second by Leyendecker. Ms. Leyendecker, could we have a report from Mr. Van Milligan, please?
Thank you. Assistant City Engineer Bob Schissel is recommending City Council adopt a resolution awarding the Public Improvement Construction Contract for the 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Sidewalk Curb Ramp Project Bid Package 2 to Midwest Concrete in the amount of $87,103, which is 1.61% below the estimate of probable cost. The 2026 Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program Bid Package 2 will provide for the replacement of 10 access curb ramps, adjacent street pavement work, curb and gutter replacement, sidewalks, and landscape restoration work in coordination with the Public Works Asphalt Overlay Program at the following location: University Avenue from Pennsylvania Avenue to Loris Boulevard for 10 ramps. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request Mayor and City Council approval.
Thank you very much. Do we have any council comments or questions? Very well. We have a motion by Wethel, second by Leyendecker. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver,
Aye.
Wethel,
Aye.
Sprank,
Aye.
Leyendecker,
Aye.
Resnick,
Aye.
Roussel,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
That motion carries 7-0.
Action item number 5 is approve professional consultant services supplemental agreement number 2, smart traffic routing with efficient and effective traffic systems.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Ms. Roussel.
I move to receive and file and adopt the resolution.
Second by Wethel.
Okay. So motion by Roussel, second by Wethel. Mr. Van Milligan.
Thank you. Civil Engineer 2, Dave Ness, is recommending City Council authorize the city manager to execute consultant professional services supplemental agreement number 2 with Parsons Transportation Group, which approves revisions to the original contract agreement scope of services to support installation of dynamic message signs, related field implementation, and associated project budget adjustments for the Smart Traffic Routing with Efficient and Effective Traffic System, or STREETS project, subject to the concurrence of the Iowa Department of Transportation. Supplemental Agreement Number 2 also includes the following contract modifications. It adds Voltmer Incorporated to the project team to install dynamic message signs, including contingency funding, reduces unused direct expenses from the original agreement, including unused server and equipment costs, adds back $20,800 for cellular router kits and spare DMS insert modules required for field deployment, removes small unused budget amounts from Transmart and LREC as those tasks are complete and closed out, add $6,057 to Origin Design to support construction field reviews during installation activities, add $72,312 to Parsons' fully loaded labor budget to support ongoing signal response plan refinement, environmental coordination, and additional video analytics work associated with the longer than anticipated implementation efforts. Funds for the Streets project in the amount of $3,334,302 is available through the purchase order dedicated to the Streets project. I concur with the recommendation and respectfully request Mayor and City Council approval.
Thank you very much. Do we have any discussion or questions from council members? Yes, Ms. Roussel, please.
Thank you. This question is for you, Mike, and I seem to be offline here, so I can't find my notes, but could you kind of remind us some of the many sources of funding that this project, we got a lot of grants for this project, correct? So I think it's important for people to remember that we have a lot of grants that are helping to provide this particular project.
Yes, thank you. So the project has 6 funding sources. The grants you referred to are the Accelerated Innovation Deployment Grant from the Federal Highway Administration for $900,098, the Iowa Clean Air Attainment Grant from the Iowa Department of Transportation for $818,250, the Iowa Primary Road Funding from the Iowa Department of Transportation for $300,000, and Traffic Safety Improvement from the Iowa Department of Transportation for $100,000, and Surface Transportation Block Grant Funding from the Dubuque Metropolitan Area Transportation Study, or DMATS, for $900,000, and then local funds from the City of Dubuque, $550,000, of which $270,000 is allocated for City of Dubuque staff time. And so that's a total of $3,660,250.
Thank you. That really makes an impact. Thank you.
For the information. Anyone else? All right.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I have one question. Mike, there's a line in your memo that talks about the longer than anticipated implementation effort. Could we get just a general summary of that? I think we've had it before, but I think it would be helpful to hear it again, what some of the challenges have been with this project, just because there's a lot of technology involved, I know. So I was just curious if somebody could speak to that a little bit.
Yes, Assistant City Engineer Bob Schissel is walking up to the microphone. He'll answer that question. Thank you.
Good evening. I probably don't have to introduce myself, so thank you, Mike. This is a total custom, never been done before project. It's the first time ever in the United States and probably even in the world. So everything is being designed totally by scratch. Everything is being developed from scratch. So the software, the hardware, so it's never been done before. So it has taken a little bit longer just because it's truly state-of-the-art technology that they are developing. So yeah, it has taken longer, but it was pretty hard to predict the schedule when we started, when there was no models or anything like that that could ever been used to kind of project a timeline.
Well, thank you, Bob. So I think that's an important thing for everybody to recognize is that this is something that's very unique, and it's been recognized by a lot of people across from around the world as being unique. I do. Do we have any? Are those grants that we're using for this? We're using that funding, correct? Or is there anything that we need to be concerned about with, grants being used in time or anything like that?
No, not that they're aware of, and all the, the grants that Mike shared and listed are truly indicative of the state-of-the-art project that this is and never been done before, so, excuse me, so, that kind of reflects the uniqueness of this project with some of the, very, very creative grants that we were able to get for this project. So we are not aware of any, looming deadlines or things like that could potentially impact these grants. A lot of the funding is already encumbered or obligated. Now we just have to, get the project completed. And so I hope that answered your question.
It does. Yeah, it's very helpful. Thank you, Bob. And thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, thank you. And we're not doing this just for ourselves, are we? We want this to be replicable, and it's unique, but we also want to help other people with this. And we were chosen because we've got a lot going for us, including yourself, and so many people thinking about this project. How is this project going to help traffic? How do we see it as helping ourselves, helping others in this?
I guess really, and Dave Ness wasn't able to be here, and he could speak much more intelligently than I could. Did you hear that question, Dave? I'll let come on up. I'll let the expert. He can speak much more eloquently than I can on it.
Evening, Mayor, City Council. I'm Dave Ness, traffic engineering. I didn't hear the question, sorry.
The question really is, how is this we're going to share this a success. We're going to definitely say it's been a success. How would we share this with others, and how is this improvement going to be reflected? How we know that this is going to help, and what are we trying to do to help ourselves and others?
Right. Well, it's a first time ever, so there's a lot of learning involved and challenges, I'll be honest. And we're having to pivot quite a bit. Just our city is a little bit smaller. Things we're learning, for instance, not a lot of people use electronic like Waze as they're driving through Dubuque. That's just an app that's kind of like a crowdsource. I use that when I drive to Chicago. I don't use it when I drive in Dubuque. INREX is another one that we're trying to use these crowdsourcing pilots to learn from. We're having to collect our data more locally, and that is one of those learned processes. And one of the things we're doing is we're taking all these data sources. A large one of those data sources will be our cameras. We've paid for those, they're deployed, they're already available. We're creating more analytics every day, honestly, for traffic to take that kind of data. And one of the bigger wins will be this digital model of Dubuque. We're working with ECIA and Chandra on that model and Aimsung. And as new technologies are going to come, and we're going to continue to improve the digital model, and then more things like streets will be using that digital model to improve traffic and other things besides traffic. It could be a number of different factors. Whatever you're collecting can go into that model. So, we're gonna show what we've learned through that process. Some of it's going to be good, some of it's going to be bad. Just being honest. So, it might be through presentations or whatever it might be. I know I'm going to ISC West next week to present, but it's not necessarily on streets, but it's on using AI analytics with our camera systems and what we're learning from that. So You know,
Great.
it's going to be a work in progress. One of the things that's really missing is how to communicate with the drivers. And that was something we kind of recognized years ago, and we're working on some SMART grants. However, that funding got pulled by the government, so that funding is not going to be available. But it's still going to be a challenge. It's a challenge for everybody. It's not just for us. You know, how to communicate these more minute-by-minute things to the drivers. That's honestly one of the challenges that we're trying to overcome. We have things like Google Maps and Apple Maps, and we're trying to be a source of data for them, but currently they're not too interested in us. And in fact, it actually kind of becomes a little bit of an adversary because they're recommending vehicles take a certain route, which might be in conflict with us because we're actually changing the timings of the lights, trying to make certain routes better. You know, so it's those kind of things that we're overcoming, and it's taken us a little longer than expected. But those are the challenges we're working on, and it's not all good. It's not all smooth sailing, but it is progress forward. So.
Yeah, thank you. And I was interested in your AI answer because I just recently, myself, looking at an LLM, I guess they call them, where you could get your own, like QWEN, our own AI locally. So it's local. It's going to be, it could be on our own servers that we don't have to share it with everybody. And that kind of information that you can gather with all this, traffic cameras and those type of things. Are you looking at keeping the information local and protected, or are you perhaps using an AI like that, or that's some of the things that keep changing?
It's shared. Yeah.
It is shared.
It is shared. I mean, first of all, it's federal money for like streets, so everything that we're building, we're trying to share and teach others, you know, what the process was like. But speaking of like large language models, you know, we are working with Milestone Systems. They actually have created a visual language model out of our City of Dubuque traffic cameras and videos. So they have already done that. Specific, I think we were the first in the world to do that. We're first in the country for sure. And they've got something called Project Hafnia, where they've got supercomputers that can watch these videos. It's like having a person watching the video, and it'll just create dialogue of what it sees. You know, it's not scalable yet to all 1,500 of our cameras, but I think the ultimate goal is it's almost like you have 1,500 people. You have somebody watching each camera, and it's GDPR compliant, which is a standard out of Europe for privacy rights. We don't really have those here in America yet, but we're building it with that in mind. And so, you know, it's creating dialogue from each camera that it's viewing, and then that is linkable to the video, and then you can search for that dialogue and look. So it's like if two vehicles collided in the middle of the night and they were both incapacitated, that'd be a good example of, you know, the video would pick that up and see it and flag it. So yeah, we're working on a lot of that really cutting edge, maybe bleeding edge technology with these companies.
Thank you. So much going on, and you include consideration of privacy rights with all the things you're doing. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Any other comments, Ms. Roussel?
I guess I have a simple question, just for me as a driver. How do you see my driving experience being improved by this system? I mean, am I going to get where I'm going faster? Is it, you know?
And there's a lot of systems, you know, streets in particular is for when things go wrong, more so. And whether you know, a lot of times we're behind the camera, so we're adjusting the signals. And we've got a lot of tools at our disposal while we're at the traffic center. So when we see issues, we have eyes on it and we're making the changes. What Streets is supposed to help us with is to do this when we're not there and to make some decisions. And we slowly, watch it, and it recommends doing this, and then we override it and say, yep, that looks good, you know. So it has to earn our trust that we can let it run automatically. But you're probably not going to see this huge difference. The difference will be when we're not at the office and some of these things happen. It should make it better without us there. So that's our goal. A lot of what these researchers study is how do we, as engineers at the city, with all these tools at our disposal, make these changes? And how do we utilize it? Whether it's for traffic or for public safety or whatever it might be, these folks that create these analytics, they're actually most interested in how we currently use the system as humans, and they're trying to replicate that. So I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah, I mean, we've been pretty spoiled all the way along because we've had these tools at our disposal, and we try to keep things moving, trying to automate that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bethel?
I don't know that your memo gives the team credit for what you deserve. And what I mean by that is that I recall first, I think, learning the most about streets. We had a legislative visit from our federal partners, and there was a presentation at our gathering at ECIA in which we were presented, this is what it's going to look like, and this is why we're doing it. And I just was curious about that was, I think, 2 years ago. And so I'm curious about what the date is going back to when this first started to come to fruition, when we first started banding with partners. I just want folks at home to understand that this isn't just the city of Dubuque going out on a limb. This is so much background work and partnerships that have gone on for years to get where we are today.
It is, and streets is not the end all. It's a stepping stone, and streets was designed with progress in mind. You know, the goal is to have it be flexible so that when new technologies come out, we're able to utilize those. It's not a stagnant system. We started thinking about this type of system in 2018, 2017, and started really forming it together in 2019. And, you know, if streets funding wasn't there, we'd still be building some towards this goal. A lot of the things that we're doing are actually non-streets program that are actually even much more technically savvy than the streets project itself. But those analytics that we're working on with like Video and Milestone can be incorporated into that digital model that will ultimately make streets a better system too. So yeah, we've been lucky. We've had good support from everybody here and city manager and everybody at the city. So we've been able to use these tools and try to do things that nobody else has done.
Well, thank you for you and all of those involved spending years getting to this point. And
But we enjoy it. It's our first love anyway. So
I'm glad you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, Mr. Sprank.
You were mentioning you're still trying to figure out how to implement it, and while I was sitting here, an idea came to my mind here, and maybe this isn't even possible. So cell phones, so many brand new vehicles require you to have your cell phone somehow connected to your vehicle, and Amber Alerts. Is there a way that you can use the a similar system to the Amber Alert system that would notify folks through their cell phone? Then it would come up on their screens on their vehicles?
Maybe, depending on the emergency. And you bring up a good point. I mean, tonight's memo was about dynamic message boards, which are really, honestly, pretty boring. And unfortunately, it's a route we have to take, I'll be honest. You know, the SMART grant was trying to step over that, but we're still back to that. We still got to have things on the streets to help guide drivers. You know, one thing I help create detours and put them in place, and then, you know, the following morning I wake up and I start driving to work and I hit the detour because we're all kind of like sheep. And same thing happens to me, but when I do get in the car, my Apple phone slaps on my dash and it tells me, oh, it's going to take you 15 minutes to go to work today, and it shows the route it knows that I usually take. That's where we would love to go, is where it ultimately this driver dashboard that we thought honestly would exist by now. And again, it's not a Dubuque problem, it's a worldwide problem, but we're trying to be some of the innovators to create that dashboard. And that was really part of the SMART grant, that we've been building these things in the background as part of phase 1 of the SMART grant. And phase 2 was going to be the implementation, but that's the funding that got pulled. It was up to $15 million that we could apply for. But ultimately, I would love it to just be built into your guidance system. So I agree that would work great. Yep. Maybe in time.
Anyone else? Well, thank you for your help with those answers. We have a motion by Roussel and a second by Wethel. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver.
Aye.
Wethel.
Aye.
Sprank.
Aye.
Leyendecker.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Roussel.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
The motion carries 7-0.
Action item number 6 is Dubuque Fire Department Ladder Truck 4 push-in ceremony video.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, Ms. Roussel.
I move to receive and file and watch the video.
Second by Leyendecker.
All right, so we have a motion by Roussel, second by Leyendecker. So let's watch the video. All right, well, thank you. I hope I'm pushing the engine doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the motor or something. So that they do that all the time to get it in there. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Exciting music. Any other comments about that? All right, so we have a motion by Roussel, a second by Leyendecker. Ms. Breitfelder, please call the roll.
Staver.
Aye.
Wethel.
Aye.
Sprank.
Aye.
Leyendecker.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Roussel.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
The motion carries 7-0.
Next are council member reports.
So council member reports, Mr. Mayor, do you mind if I ask you to let us know what you're doing and see anything else you'd like to comment on the council member reports?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I have a couple of things to report. So this last couple of weeks have been involved with lots of travel for me. And I've been involved with the Iowa League of Cities, first and foremost. We went to the state legislature and had a local leaders day for the state of Iowa. And it was a great event, drew even more people this year. I was able to travel there with our new director of strategic partnerships, Anderson Stancy. And it's great to see so many local leaders in Iowa stepping forward to be able to have those great conversations in Des Moines. Also spending some time in Washington, D.C. for the National League of Cities. And once again, just a good time with lots of different colleagues from across the country, talking about all the same issues that we're talking about there. We're talking about housing. There is actually discussion about aviation, discussion about quite a few other things that have to do with what it means to be in local government. So I always appreciate this opportunity. One thing that's not related to any of that travel was, but it took a little bit of travel from my house, was I got to go to Hempstead last week and spend most of the day on Friday with the Hempstead IJAG program, the Iowa Jobs for America's Graduates. Such a great time talking to the young people who are there at Hempstead, freshmen through seniors. A lot of great questions. We had some really good discussions. So I think we've got some kids that really want to get more involved in their community and care very deeply for it. So it's great to see that. Always brings a lot of hope. So thanks, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Great, thank you for the catch up there. Anyone else? Next. Mr. Leyendecker.
Yeah, so I finished up my orientation with the transportation department, so it was great to go down there and visit with the team there and understand all that goes on with transportation, the Jewel, and our bus system, in addition to parking. So that's exciting. And then had a Dubuque Initiatives board meeting And then finally, I met with David Gamble, who's been working a lot on the downtown strategy. I think he's been engaged with a number of stakeholders in Dubuque, and in addition to council. So it's good to hear what he's been working on and some of his ideas, and bringing some new ideas to the table. So
Great. Thank you very much. Anyone else but Ms. Russell?
Thanks. I was able to attend the River and Roots event at the National Mississippi River Museum. And it was presented by Dubuque County Reads, and had a wide range of booths there of organizations with an environmental relationship. And Dubuque Trees Forever had a booth there. There were about 154 attendees, and it was really a great event. So thank you to the River Museum for that. And I attended a Dubuque Trees Forever board meeting to plan our many upcoming spring activities. Can't wait to get shovels in the ground.
Thank you very much. Would you mind telling us about the Dubuque Parks group that you've been?
Well, I've started a new group, and it's called Friends of Dubuque Parks. And I have a wide range of people who are interested in advocating for, fundraising for, and having activities in our Dubuque parks. So we're hoping to get more people involved, and we already have a Facebook page, and look forward to fun activities in our parks.
Yes, I got an invitation to follow that page, which I'm doing. So I'm looking forward to that. And we're thinking about volunteering for that. So thank you for doing this extra work. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Sprague, please.
Since our last meeting, between two neighborhood association meetings, as well as going to a grand opening of a record store on Jackson Street. And then also I'm on the River Museum, so the Building and Grounds Committee meeting. Also on the Crescent Community Health Board. We did a nice strategic planning event for a long Saturday. And then also this weekend was also volunteering at a food giveaway. So just always something going on. And also, if there's something you kind of want to see unique play going on, is the Diary of Anne Frank. It's going to be playing this weekend at the Five Flags in the Bijou Room. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Leathell.
I was just going to mention that Mayor Pro Tem Resnick and myself attended a policy board meeting for Dubuque Metropolitan Area Solid Waste Agency. That I feel like was very productive, lots of exciting things coming through, and so much work being done by the team there in collaboration with many partners. And so exciting things to come, and very happy to get to represent City Council on that board. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I learned, Mr. Staver, I'm sorry, would you like to say? A lot going on.
Yeah, I guess I met with Keith Ray, traveled to Dubuque, and I had a really interesting conversation with him, and really excited about Dyersville and all that could potentially bring to Dubuque. Met with Mr. White down at Greater Dubuque Development, and had a really long conversation with him, and that was some cool changes coming up there. So yeah, kind of just going through the ropes here.
Thank you very much for representing wherever you go, representing the Dubuque City Council. I did learn that there was a very special March 16th event that I didn't know about till just a couple of days ago, and that is March 16th is the birthday of Michael Van Milligan, and I got a special request to lead a happy birthday. So we're all going to sing. It's going to sound beautiful. Ms. Russell brought your violin? No? Okay. So we're all going to sing if you know the words. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael C. Van Milligan. Happy birthday to you. You have to give a speech. That's the rule. Next year. Very good. Well, thank you, and happy birthday to you. So we do have a closed session, so I will take a motion.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, Ms. Wethel.
I move to proceed to closed session in accordance with Chapter 21.5, 1J, Code of Iowa for purchase or sale of real estate.
Second.
All right, very good. We have a motion by Wethel and a second by Roussel. For the record, the attorney, the city council will consult with on the issues to be discussed in the closed session is City Attorney Krenna Brumwell. Is that correct? All right, Ms. Breitfelder, if you could call the roll.
Staver. Wethel.
Aye.
Sprank. Leyendecker.
Aye.
Resnick.
Aye.
Roussel.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. We are in closed session.